Smackdown, the first Smackdown of October 2020 is just wrapped up, finished in the books. First, it's been a year. I think next week's a year onto Fox. Now this Smackdown, some interesting developments happen, and so we're gonna go through this. This is Zero Entertainment, and this is my Smackdown review for October 2nd, 2020. First thing we have is a video package recap from the main event at Clash of Champions between Roman Reigns and his cousin Jey Uso, explaining what happened during that match. Roman Reigns wanted to acknowledge him as the tribal chief, the family. You see Roman Reigns walking with the Universal title like this, held up high, and Paul Heyman can't, like he's interested in it, right? You go down to the ring, right? You cut up. Heyman has the mic. He misses, feels a little nervous. He starts talking about Roman's family, using their name. Roman takes the mic and starts talking. He calls out his cousin Jey Uso. And Jey Uso's music hits, and Jey Uso hits the ring. Jey Uso comes out, as Roman Reigns calls him out. He has the mic, he starts talking. He says, "I don't even know who you are anymore. Blood, or some blood, whatever. But I don't know who you are anymore. You're not the same person that you once were." And he told him, "I would have been the Universal Champion." Oh, I don't think that's true. He would not have been the Universal Champion at all. But that's what he told Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns did not like that at all. He says, "You think I enjoyed that last week?" He said, "It was the worst day of my life. I didn't want to hurt you that. I just wanted to make a point. Your family, man." But he said, "You're breaking my heart." And then he saw Jey, his cousin, looking at the title. I was like, "Is this what you want? Is this what you want?" And he says, "Okay, I'll give you one more shot at Hell in a Cell. The stakes are high, right?" So he goes over to Jey Uso. Probably mentions out what kind of match it is. Maybe it's a Hell in a Cell match. But Jey Uso's taking it in. Roman Reigns walks out. Jey Uso takes the mic and says, "Yeah, always the high stakes. I accept your challenge." So Roman Reigns and Jey Uso are going to face each other at Hell in a Cell. We don't know if it's a Hell in a Cell match, but it might be some sort of stipulation match, because there's high stakes involved. Jey Uso comes out, as Roman Reigns calls him out. He has the mic, he starts talking. He says, "I don't even know who you are anymore. Blood, or some blood, whatever. But I don't know who you are anymore. You're not the same person that you once were." And he told him, "I would have been the Universal Champion." Oh, I don't think that's true. He would not have been the Universal Champion at all. But that's what he told Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns did not like that at all. He says, "You think I enjoyed that last week?" He said, "It was the worst day of my life. I didn't want to hurt you that. I just wanted to make a point. Your family, man." But he said, "You're breaking my heart." And then he saw Jey, his cousin, looking at the title. I was like, "Is this what you want? Is this what you want?" And he says, "Okay, I'll give you one more shot at Hell in a Cell. The stakes are high, right?" So he goes over to Jey Uso. Probably mentions out what kind of match it is. Maybe it's a Hell in a Cell match. But Jey Uso's taking it in. Roman Reigns walks out. Jey Uso takes the mic and says, "Yeah, always the high stakes. I accept your challenge." So Roman Reigns and Jey Uso are going to face each other at Hell in a Cell. We don't know if it's a Hell in a Cell match, but it might be some sort of stipulation match, because there's high stakes involved. So, as you know, Kevin Owens has been invited to SmackDown to host this KO show with special guest Alexa Bliss. So before going to commercial break, they have a picture of him with one of the assistants handing him cue cards with the words KO on the back of the cue cards. Game has notes preparing for his show with Alexa Bliss to talk about what's going on with her and the Fiend. And then we get a recap of the ladder match from Clash of Champions with Sami Zayn winning, becoming undisputed Intercontinental Championship. Then we go backstage with him holding both belts, one on the right, one on the left, explaining why he's a rightful champion, and now he's officially the champion once again, even though he never lost it. And I think the belt on the left, he claimed it was a fake belt. Is that the real belt? The belt that should never been officially the Intercontinental Championship belt. And then you see the camera pull back, and you see standing in front of a garbage can, and throws the belt that was on the left into the garbage can. The belts look identical, but the one on the left is the fake fall belt in his mind. Because when he ran away, they had an Intercontinental tournament. AJ Styles won, Jeff Hardy took it, and then Sami Zayn won the Clash of Champions, became an official undisputed Intercontinental champion. But the one on the left, to him, is fake, and so he threw it in the garbage. And in the main event, he is in the main event. He faces Jeff Hardy for the Intercontinental Championship, where Jeff Hardy looks like he could come back and regain the Intercontinental Championship from Sami Zayn, which I'll talk about later, as is the main event. Now, we're continuing possibly the worst storyline on SmackDown. SmackDown has been good. Okay, SmackDown's been good lately, but this storyline is probably the worst on SmackDown. And that's the Otis, Miz, Morrison situation. And tonight, it's no different. So, Otis takes on Morrison. He squashes Morrison in a short, 2-minute match. Squashes Morrison with the Vader bomb after giving him the caterpillar. But that's not the focus. The focus here is on that lawsuit that Otis is facing from the Miz. Remember a couple weeks ago, the Miz filed a lawsuit against Otis. So stupid. And so he has to find a representative in court. There's a little before the match. They showed the screen on the side. Otis cutting a small backstage promo. Says he represented himself in court, so he's gonna be his own attorney, defense lawyer, representing himself in court. And this court's taking place next week on SmackDown. Yeah, so it's just stupid. He has money in the bank. If he loses this lawsuit, this is how he's gonna lose the money in the bank, by going to court. WWE, you gotta get more creative with this. You made a mistake by putting the money in the bank on Otis. You're not going to admit it, but everybody knows this has been a mistake. It's funny. There was none. Nobody expected it, but now you really dropped the ball on it. And this is how you're going to potentially make him give up the money in the bank, by having him losing in court and possibly lose to the Miz in the lawsuit. Fuck, man. Who came up with this storyline? Just tell me. Next, we have Sasha Banks. They show Sasha Banks backstage. She's going to talk about the Bayley situation. Okay, I'll get to that later. Next, we have Sheamus versus Shorty G. Yeah, he's back to Shorty G, and we don't know what to do with Shorty G. One day he's a heel, one day he's a face. I don't know. In the side, we have Big E cutting a promo from home, challenging Sheamus to a street fight, because they both attacked each other in the garage. Remember, even though Sheamus got away from his beating, but Big E didn't from his. So we're gonna have a massive street fight. And next week's SmackDown, and it looked like Sheamus was cutting a cameo for his last cameo until WWE takes over, third party for the superstars. Fucking dipshits for doing that. But it looked like Big E was taking his last cameo for Sheamus, challenging him to a backstage match at the next week's SmackDown. So, as you know, Kevinowens has been invited to SmackDown to host this KO show with special guest Alexa Bliss. So before going to commercial break, they have a picture of him with one of the assistants handing him cue cards with the words KO on the back of the cue cards. Game has notes preparing for his show with Alexa Bliss to talk about what's going on with her and the Fiend. So Alexa Bliss does come out, sits down in the chair. KO starts asking questions like, "Come on, you know what's up." And then Alexa Bliss describes what's up. It looks like Alexa Bliss is aware of what she is and who she is now. That she changed. Like everybody changes when you get in contact with her, everybody changes. She says some creepy stuff about how the Fiend makes her feel. And KO's like, realizes it's not about Alistair Black or whatever anymore. This is about her and the Fiend, right? And she, as I said, she described how the Fiend makes her feel. It's really creepy stuff. You gotta go listen to it. I'm sure on YouTube they have the clip of it. And she says he is everywhere. And that's when the lights turn out. It goes red, and you hear that Fiend, like, not music, but you know what the Fiend sound. We come back to Fiend has Kevinowens in the mandible claw. Has the grip on him. Goes to the ground. Fiend turns around. Alexa's on the chair. Alexa's just sitting there admiring it, making no little face reaction, but you can tell she's loving it. And then this is what happens. After the Fiend's done with Kevinowens, he turns around, as I said, looks at Alexa, offers his hand to Alexa. Alexa gladly accepts. Finally, putting these two together as a hiding Korean choker type couple. Sorry. And then the cut, Alexa Bliss smirking. Oh no, these two together. Fiend has twisted Alexa Bliss. Has drove her nuts. She was right, the Fiend does chase everyone. In this case, she has fallen for him. So we finally get a mystery reveal of that woman that WWE's been teasing us for the past 5 weeks. 4 or 5 weeks. I think this is the 5th week. We finally get a reveal. First week I thought it could be Chelsea Green, we didn't know. The second week it's pretty obvious it's Carmella. And this week, yeah, this past 2 weeks we've made it more obvious it's Carmella. This week, fighting out for confirmation it's Carmella. But this is a different Carmella. She blamed us people, for dancing ways, her old ways, the dancing ways. They didn't get her anything, which is wrong because she did become champion twice. No, not twice. But she did become SmackDown Women's Champion with her old gimmick, but it's this new gimmick, a change for her. It's a change for, she said, I'm not your princess anymore, but I'm untouchable. So she looks like a fashion gimmick with the camera, like she looks like a model kind of gimmick. And her hair is all like really blonde now, like more blonde than usual. She's a dress. I wonder what her ring attire would be like. It's not going to be like the old Carmella ring attire where she looks like she's dressed in sporty equipment or whatever, right? Sporty kind of clothing that she normally wore. I wonder if she gets dropped to the wall or SmackDown. She says she doesn't matter which branch she goes to, right? I think she's gonna stay on SmackDown, but I think she's one of the only women to never. SmackDown will never officially go to Raw. But if they're teasing her only on SmackDown instead of Raw, she is a SmackDown superstar. I think she might stay on SmackDown. Now who knows, the draft is next week. We don't know. So yeah, confirmation is Carmella. Untouchable. So it looks like Bayley was on a SmackDown, okay? Sashabanks comes out with the neck brace, goes in the middle of it, cuts a promo. How she calls Bayley a coward. She's obviously angry. like many people, I thought she was back too early, and it was shockingly surprising. He tells me, "I'm getting a SmackDown Women's title from you, bitch, next week." Yeah, they're having a match next week. Sasha Banks and Bayley next week. You would think they're having this match at Hell in a Cell. The rumor is that they're gonna be in the main event at Hell in a Cell. And next week's the draft. Maybe whoever loses gets drafted. Whoever loses goes to the other brand. I don't know. I think it might be a bad idea to split them up. Next week, the loser, whoever loses, goes to Wall. Possibly goes to Wall. I think it's a bad idea. Because Raw is good. SmackDown needs the talent more. You got Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose who moved the Raw before the draft. But yeah, it doesn't make sense in the women's division. But yeah, surprisingly, this match is next week. Maybe a screwy finish will happen, and they're gonna actually have another match in Hell in a Cell. That's what I think is gonna happen. Bayley's gonna get herself to Scotland or something. And Sasha Banks, she ripped off the neck brace. I don't know how neck heals in 4 weeks, but okay, she must have super healing. Okay, we have a 6-man tag team match between 2 members of the Lucha House Party and Matt Riddle, which is King Corbin and Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. I think it was a 6-man tag team match. Matt Riddle is trying to keep the peace between Lucha House Party. You know they're having issues. Okay, and Matt Riddle has issues with King Corbin. Remember last week, Matt Riddle is starting to lose as of late. He looks like he was having a losing streak or something. Things have been going his way. But in this match, things did go away. He gave Cesaro the Bull Derek. It's like a pile driver. 1, 2, 3. Him and his team won. But Nasserado and Kalisto were having issues. And Matt Riddle was one trying to keep the peace between the two. So okay. It was just a match to get Matt Riddle's rival with King Corbin in there. And Lucha House Party, I guess, still rivalry with Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro in there. With their issues still going on. Which is going long-term storyline. But I don't know where this is leading to with Lucha House Party. They keep pushing and shoving. Like, oh, we're having it for like the past month. But nothing new has changed. Like, they just keep pushing and shoving every week. I don't know, man. Okay, we have a 6-man tag team match between 2 members of the Lucha House Party and Matt Riddle, which is King Corbin and Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. I think it was a 6-man tag team match. Matt Riddle is trying to keep the peace between Lucha House Party. You know they're having issues. Okay, and Matt Riddle has issues with King Corbin. Remember last week, Matt Riddle is starting to lose as of late. He looks like he was having a losing streak or something. Things have been going his way. But in this match, things did go away. He gave Cesaro the Bull Derek. It's like a pile driver. 1, 2, 3. Him and his team won. But Nasserado and Kalisto were having issues. And Matt Riddle was one trying to keep the peace between the two. So okay. It was just a match to get Matt Riddle's rival with King Corbin in there. And Lucha House Party, I guess, still rivalry with Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro in there. With their issues still going on. Which is going long-term storyline. But I don't know where this is leading to with Lucha House Party. They keep pushing and shoving. Like, oh, we're having it for like the past month. But nothing new has changed. Like, they just keep pushing and shoving every week. I don't know, man. Now I'm gonna finish off this SmackDown with a preview of next SmackDown. So next SmackDown is the draft. First half of the draft. SmackDown's draft. October 9th, and part 2 is on Raw October 12th. But WWE stacking the card for next SmackDown. We have the oldest Miss Court thing, which I don't give a damn about. But we have 3 matches. Big E versus Sheamus. Brawl, whatever. And for the first time ever, Fiend is competing against Kevinowens on the actual show. Bray Wyatt has never fought any of them as a Fiend on Raw or SmackDown. This is the first time he'll be wrestling on SmackDown. Never on Raw, but this will be the first on live TV. Yep, not a pay-per-view. And this will be the first time against Kevinowens next week. And we're going to have the women's title match between Sasha Banks and Bayley next week on SmackDown. There's a preview for SmackDown next week. And I'll leave you with the 2 preview pictures. So like, comment, subscribe, and tell me if you like SmackDown tonight.